Hello, everyone, and welcome to the launch ceremony of PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio. I hope you all are sound and safe. It's so nice to be back to see you all in the chat box. So, as we always do, please drop your name and country name in the chat box so that we can know from where you're connecting us with. Hi, Amber, Octavius, Onto. It's so nice to have you all here. We will be starting the launch ceremony in another 2 minutes by the time we want others to tune in as well. We have people joining us from Italy, India, Nigeria. It's so nice to have you all here. From UAE, hi. I hope you all are very excited for this ceremony because I am, and the people who have joined in with me in this particular meeting, they all are waiting for this ceremony to start. We have people joining us from Canada, Ghana, Uganda, Ukraine. So nice to have you all present here. I think it's the right time to start up with the ceremony. So once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to this exciting PictoBlox 3D and Extra Studio launch. Today, we stand at the intersection of innovation and education as we explore how 3D technologies and extended reality can reshape learning landscape. With tools like AR, VR, and immersive 3D environments, we are not just talking about the future, we are bringing it to life. This ceremony aims to empower educators to reimagine their classrooms as vibrant, interactive spaces where creativity thrives and students are fully engaged. We will see the first-hand how the 3D and XR Studio and PictoBlox can transform teaching, unlocking new possibilities, both for educators and learners alike. Here's a quick look at today's agenda. A welcome note to kick off the event. Then we will be starting with the panel discussion on the topic exploring real-world application of XR in STEM education. Moving on, we will be introducing you to PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio and showcasing its potential. Then a live demonstration of the same led by Mr. Satyendra. Later on, we will discuss the details about the upcoming International Educator Bootcamp and the closing remark to conclude the event. So without further ado, let's begin the ceremony. So before starting the panel discussion, I would like to show you a little video, a montage that we have created to create the excitement about PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio. So I see the hope of excitement coming from you all in the live chat box. And I am excited as well because this video was very engaging. All right, moving forward is the right time to dive into our engaging panel discussion on the topic exploring real world applications of extended reality in STEM education. But first, I would like to quickly introduce you all to our esteemed panelists who will be sharing their insights today. We have Mr. Dave, who brings over 30 years of experience in education, holding a master's in education. After founding an English school in Japan in 1993, Mr. Dave shifted his focus to using technology to meet students' needs. He has been deeply involved in developing digital books, learning management systems, and virtual reality solutions. His practical, cost-effective approach has supported diverse projects from library systems in Japan to bringing technology in rural schools in Kenya using Raspberry Pi. Mr. Dave's expertise lies in bridging the gap between technology and education, ensuring impactful and viable solutions. Thank you, Mr. Dave, for tuning in.
Thank you. Good to be here.
We also have Mr. Ryan, a seasoned game developer with 7 years of experience, specializing in creating immersive experience on Roblox platform. An alumnus of IIT Kanpur, Mr. Ryan brings a deep technical expertise and creative vision to his work, consistently pushing boundaries of game design and development. His passion for gaming technology, combined with his extensive experience in industry, positions him as a leader in crafting engaging, interactive digital environments that captivate players worldwide. Thank you, Mr. Ryan, for tuning in.
Thank you, Vivek. Happy to be here.
Last but not the least, we have Mr. Pankaj Verma, an engineer, an entrepreneur, and alumnus of IIT Kanpur. He's one of the co-founders of STEMpedia. STEMpedia, as you all know, is a startup that aims to transform today's youth into tomorrow's innovators. Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj, for joining in.
Thank you, Vivek, and thank you, Dave, sir, and Rayan to join this.
Moving ahead, I will be asking you all, I will be putting up some questions one by one, and I will be taking your inputs for the same. And later on, we will be having one generic question on which I will be asking all of you to share your insights and expertise. All right, so I think we are good to go and start our panel discussion. My first question to Mr. Pankaj. Sir, how you think that extended reality transform the teaching of complex STEM concepts by making abstract ideas more accessible and engaging for students?
So first of all, I would like to thank all the people who have joined us for this webinar as well, and for our fellow panelists as well. So answering to the question, I would say uh, uh, extended reality, virtual reality, these are the things which are going to be key in the future in terms of how the students can experience the like concepts in in a more interactive manner. So just giving you an example, if I have to teach a student about a cell, there are multiple methods to do about it. So one method is basically just like going through the diagram of the or the image of the cell, and then going through what are the like different parts of cell, and then discussing about it. The second part can be taking it, creating a video. So that would be a systematic video that would have one thing in focus, and then the students are learning. The next part can be where there is kind of an interactive model or XR model where the student would have the option to go to each and every part and explore about it on their own. It is also more gamified kind of a thing where the student have a say or have a action to do on the environment as well. So that is something which allows the students to basically go through the concepts more, I would say, in a exploratory way, and then through the experiences learn it as well. And in the coming time, with the adoption of virtual environment or virtual reality and the mixed XR reality into the I would say the industrial sector as well, and in the entertainment sector, I think this is something which is going to be very much helpful for the teachers to make the student understand or realize about the concepts easily. The other part is also basically how the students can create an interest in science or STEM. If it's boring, then they would not have any interest in it. But if they see something happening which interacts with them, then they would have a much more, I would say, interest generated or enthusiasm generated by them as well. So that is also something which would definitely help the students uh, get more interested in STEM activities or even the science activities as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj. I truly share your perspective here. Just to sum it up, that it enables immersive simulations and bringing real world scenarios into the classroom for enhanced engagement. Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj. Moving ahead, my next question is to Mr. Dev. Mr. Dev, how you think can XR applications in STEM education can bridge the gap between the theoretical knowledge and the real world application in the fields such as engineering and healthcare?
Okay. Pankaj, you had a very good answer there, and I think that you covered a lot of the parts in that, right? Okay, engineering, healthcare, and I'll just touch a little bit on STEM as well. Is that I was a skeptical teacher when I got into VR. Okay, I thought it was exciting, thought it was interesting. In 2016, I thought, okay, there's something there about engaging students, right? The difference came after about a year or 2 years, and for me, it became evident that it was more than something interesting, more than something engaging. It was a different way of connecting people with those concepts, and especially with those complex concepts that are just really tough to get your head around. It's a different experience when you can get inside of a working engine, let's say for engineering, an internal combustion engine, and be this far away from a piston, and watching that go, to feel that you're part of that system. And there's just no way as a teacher that I can actually have my students be involved that closely with those kind of concepts, except with the VR, right? So to me, the VR it's always been about one word. It's been about attention. And this is an attention deprived cohort of students coming out through school right now. So, as a teacher, that's almost like magic right there, that I can grab that attention, I can hold that attention and work them right through a concept. There's student agency in that, right? And if it's done right, you have, a self-directed, self-paced learning opportunity that you can rarely get, especially for differentiated learning for different students, right? I wasn't always the best student in high school. I didn't pay attention as much as I should have, right? But when they said, do you understand? Yeah, I understand, right? I would never, I'm never going to put up my hand and say, let's play that video again, right? But I probably needed to, especially in chemistry, I probably need to do a couple of them twice or three times, and it would have really impacted my learning had I had something like VR.
Actually, I think I would say that I share your perspective over here. And just to mention the fact that I also used to suffer a lot with the chemistry part. So just to sum it up, Mr. Dave, I think it also allows students to just visualize and manipulate the complex steps or systems in such a way that it bridges the gap between theory and practical implementations. Right. So moving ahead, my next question is to Mr. Ryan. Uh, Mr. Ryan, what impact will XR have on education? And how did the transition from pursuing a BTech at IIT Kanpur now to working in the field of game development at Roblox?
So thank you for your questions. I'll take the first one first. I think over the last many years, I have been personally noticing this that uh, in the education field, there is a heavy emphasis on making education more gamified, more engaging, more rewarding, more fun. And there is also an emphasis in the gaming sector to make games more educative. They are like all the game developers are now trying that their games can also teach the students some lesson or something that they can take away with. I think technology like XR and especially tools like XR Studio will really help to accelerate this merging. We will soon see games and experiences which won't be in either category. You won't be able to call them either games or education because they will just serve both the purposes equally well. So yeah, that is what I'm really excited about. And regarding my transition into game development, so actually I had developed my first game 15 years ago when I was in 10th standard. But using the word developed is a huge leap here because I just downloaded a game that was available. I tweaked a few things that I could, and I just launched it. And some of my friends played it. But after I graduated from college, I started to notice that all those things that game development would involve. Game development was never a career option in my mind back then because I knew it needs so much to be done. There are so many complex steps involved. There are experts and researchers all working on that. But uh, towards that time, I saw all those things started to get easier and easier. People were talking about AR and VR as the next emerging technologies. And that's why I think today also I'm really excited that tools like XR Studio, they can really help, any kid, any of any age, any caliber, just be able to quickly start developing games, just try out fun ideas and learn from there. So yeah, so my journey has been same. Like so for the last 7 years, I have been exploring all the new tools and technologies that have been coming out and trying to build games with the same.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ryan. That's actually truly inspiring journey that you shared, and how you have transitioned from the strong technical foundation from IIT Kanpur to developing dynamic world of games. Thank you so much. Moving ahead, I'm putting down the generic question, and I want Mr. Dave to share his expertise first. That is, how can school integrate these technologies like XR and more to enhance both in-person and remote learning experiences?
Um, you know, a lot of the technology is out there and it's great, right? But the problem is that there are too many people like all of us on here that have made fantastic things, but it's sometimes hard to implement in the school. So understanding the pain points from within the school, which goes from the teacher side on how much do I have to spend my weekends learning this to put in, to bring into my class, to budgets and what is this going to cost me, right? Because you can excite me and get me all juiced up to want to buy this because I can see that it's easy and I can see that it's probably impactful, but it has to be feasible. And I think that it's incumbent upon the people that are in ed tech and making these solutions to really pay very, very close attention to teachers, especially, and to administrators and IT departments, right? For me, I've been selling to about 20 or 25 different countries around the world. So um, the countries from Canada to Kenya to Brazil to wherever, right? Um, and understanding that um, in the classroom, I always feel that I have the students already. because the students want to use this. There's no doubt, right? Is when I talk about VR, right? So that's the easy one. But the IT departments have a certain set of criteria. You know, do they have to? Is there a lot of bandwidth? Is it going to be problems going through the firewall and everything else, right? The teacher, how do I implement this? How do I bring it into my syllabus? How do I roll this out to my students, right? The more that we can do in alleviating those kind of concerns or fears is very important. And for the administrators, the ones with the budgets, I find them the least problematic, okay, which might get some pushback here, okay, because all they care about is efficacy. They're not afraid to spend a bit of money. They want to make sure that it does what it's supposed to do and that learning outcomes get increased and everybody will find a budget for it, right? So keep those stakeholders in mind, okay? IT departments, administrators, teachers, and yeah, I mean it doesn't have to be that hard to bring into schools.
Thank you, Mr. Dave. Moving ahead, Mr. Ryan, I would be more than happy to have your insights on the same.
Sure thing. So, one particular thing that definitely comes to my mind is when I was in school, we used to have these science exhibitions, and every student must have went to the market, bought thermocol, plastic bottles, cardboard, and everything just to make a model of a volcano. I I don't know if that was particular to me, if that or if that's common everywhere. Uh, but those sort of things used to take weeks and a lot of money, a lot of time, and right after the exhibition, they would be thrown away or just destroyed by the students themselves. So I really think things like these, where it comes to quick demos, proof of concepts, or just explaining anything easily in an immersive environment, these sort of technologies play a very important role because what we are seeing is that with time and with these new tools, development in XR is getting easier and uh, cheaper, faster, easier, and just better for everyone.
And Mr. Ryan, how was your experience testing the beta version of 3D and XR Studio?
Oh, I definitely loved it. I'm sure we will go through a product demo later, but from what I have seen, there are some features which truly blew my mind because it just the things that I have learned to do at different places using different tools over the last 2-3 years. I could see all of them being just a part of this product and really easy to do for someone in just 15 minutes. So I'm really excited by the product.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Pankaj, would you like to share some of your insights for the question that I put up?
Yes. So I would just add a different perspective to all of this, like on. So when we were starting to develop this whole XR Studio and then the environment, the exact I would say the exact case study was available with us, that okay, or the problem statement was available with us, is that how we can effectively introduce an XR or this kind of things into the school syllabus or the school subject. So there are 2-3 ways in which we can do this. One way is that it is mostly used for the experience basis, where you have a very big repository of the pre-built models, and then there which have some simulation, some learning objectives, some in theory related to that, and then the teachers are actually using it to just simplify how the students can experience that thing and learn about it. So that was one part of, I would say, product line that can be there. The second part was actually the other part, where how can we give the control of creating the XR environments or the 3D environments to the students and allowing them to create their own, I would say, models of volcano or models of the different, I would say, a robot into a 3D virtual environment, and then share it with others to learn as well. So the second approach was something which we were already doing it with PictoBlox, where we have added a lot of AI and ML based features into it. So XR environment was something which was an extension to it, where the students can learn about all these things, very like learn to how to create a 3D environment and code it. So it becomes a kind of a I would say entrance into this subject of virtual environment or the XR environment as well. So what we envision is that we what I see is that schools will take this in two mode. One would be where where the models created in the PictoBlox XR environment can be used for virtual labs or for the experiences in their VR labs. The second one can be in terms of using it to make students learn about coding, uh, like how they can create a 3D model and how to code, what are the different because it also create an engagement of engagement for the students, rather than just having a very simple terminal based coding structure. This gives them the option to code with block based coding or Python coding as per their age or their experiences. So this both model is something which I think mode is something which I would see that PictoBlox XR environment would be taken up into the schools, and we are creating a bigger environment for the students, or a repository for the students and teachers to have a experience based journey as well. So that's a thing that I think in some time, like we will see that teachers would develop it, we would develop it, and then we will create a community like on top of this. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pankaj. As one of the comment in the live chat box mentioned, the vision is very bright and clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving ahead, first of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all our expert panelists for sharing their knowledge and experiences and expertise. And the insights that you have shared have truly inspired us to explore the transformative potential of XR in education. So we look forward to more engaging discussions in the future. Thank you so much for joining in. All right. So without further ado, it's the right time to introduce you all to PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio. But before that, you might be wondering, and some of you still are asking, but what exactly XR is? And well, don't worry, we will be giving you a quick overview about the same. We have been discussing it throughout the panel discussion, but let me give you a quick overview. XR stands for extended reality, which is an umbrella term that encompasses of all immersive technologies, including virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. These technologies blend the physical and virtual worlds to create interactive and immersive experiences. VR, which is virtual reality, fully immerses users in a computer-generated environment. Users wear VR headset to explore these digital spaces like being transported into a different world. AR, which is augmented reality, adds digital elements to the real world, like Snapchat or Pokemon Go. It enhances the physical environment with virtual objects without replacing it. And MR at the end, which is mixed reality, combines both VR and AR, allowing the real and virtual objects to interact with each other. For example, user can manipulate digital objects as if they were a part of the physical world. So you see, XR is transforming not just education, but gaming, healthcare, and more by offering immersive and interactive experiences that were once science fiction. Now, moving on, we are diving deep into something truly groundbreaking in the world of education. This ultimate creator tool, the PictoBlox 3D XR Studio, is designed to empower young innovators to explore, create, and transform their learning experiences like never before. PictoBlox has always been at the forefront of interactive learning. And now with the addition of 3D and XR capabilities, it takes the creativity and innovation to a whole new level. The studio brings immersive experiences to the classroom, enabling students to dive into virtual and augmented reality environments that they can create and control themselves. In the 3D and XR studio, the lines between learning and creativity blurs out, offering a dynamic space where students don't just consume technology, they actively engage and shape it. I would also like to, put a limelight onto the standout features of PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio. So PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio comes with 3D modeling, by which you can design and manipulate objects from simple shapes to complex structures in an intuitive environment. Real-time physics adds lifelike interactions to animations like bouncing or breaking and much more. The dual code mode allows you to switch between block-based coding and Python-based coding, catering to all the skill levels. Game creations empower students to build interactive worlds, while Face Filter adds engaging AR effects in real time. And animation, of course, turns the characters into real life. And AR Tracker seamlessly integrate virtual objects into real world for immersive learning. That's not all. If you might be wondering, what exactly are the benefits of integrating PictoBlox and XR Studio into Classroom? So it offers a world of possibilities. And here's what it offers. Students can turn abstract concepts into tangible interactive experiences, whether it's creating 3D models, simulating physics, or building virtual worlds. They gain practical experience that deepens their understanding. By working with the tools like 3D modeling or coding or game creation, students will not just be able to develop their technical skills, but I feel like they will be able to develop problem solving, creativity, and teamwork, which we all know is the key for future success. Plus, the PictoBlock Studio here allows students to explore concepts visually and interactively, making learning more accessible or to all the different learning styles. The 3D and XR Studio also transforms students from passive learners to active creators. That is what the major aim of this particular 3D and XR Studio is. And of course, it's not just a tool, it's more than that, because I feel like it's an opportunity to inspire the innovation and imagination in every way possible. So I know you all have been waiting for this particular moment. So now we are about to embark on a thrilling journey into the world of 3D and XR with the next segment. I'm excited to introduce a visionary who has been instrumental in bringing the PictoBlox 3D and XR studio to life, Mr. Satyendra. Today, he will be guiding us through a live demonstration showcasing the powerful capabilities of the studio and how it can transform the way we teach and the way we learn. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Satyendra. Mr. Satyendra, over to you.
Thank you, Vivek. I would personally like to thank you, all the panelists, Mr. Dave, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Pankaj, for joining us and sharing their experiences. Personal thank you to you. Before I move into, showcasing the actual product of it, I'm sure that there are a lot of audience who are pretty much aware about PictoBlox and what we offer. But irrespective of that, considering the global audience that we have, I'll start from the scratch and what we do as a company, what Stamppedia offer as a company. I'll give you a quick glimpse about it, and we'll also show you the different features and the functionalities that we have developed over the time, and the performance of this particular platform. So, Mr. Vivek, I'm just sharing my screen so that everyone will be able to see this. Is it clear for everyone? Vivek, if you can confirm.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sure that a lot of people in the audience are pretty much aware about the PictoBlox. Like, we offer solution for, kids starting from grade 4, maybe age 4, and moving on to our whole new experiences, which is about 3D and XR Studio. As name suggested, like this combine both the functionality of 3D modeling and the XR experiences in just one platform itself. So without much delay, let me just dive into it. I'll just click on this icon over here. So the first screen is always about creating a new project. There are multiple projects that I have been working on, but let me just start a fresh one. I'm just putting a name of my project as, like, say, my first project. There are different templates that we offers to the users, and as per their requirement, they can prefer to choose any of the the environment that we are giving as a template. But let me just start fresh. Let me just start from blank project. So once I'll open the blank project, you will see a beautiful canvas, an empty canvas right in front of you, and this is ready to get designed. It's up to the user creativity how they want to design the whole canvas right in front of them. You can also see our little mascot Toby over here, the 3D version of the Toby. So a lot of you would be experiencing Toby in 2D world, but now it's all about 3D. Okay, so this is our little mascot. And so let's assume if I have to make this beautiful world into something very intuitive, something very something very catchy or connected to a game kind of environment, what all I have to do is just few clicks. So let me just show you the beautiful or the powerful features that we have designed over the period. So if I have to design an environment over here, all I have to do is choose some of the options which is available on the right side of it. Let me just try to move this bar. Okay. So all that need is basically to choose the appropriate option which is being given over here. So the first one represent 3D geometry. So if you want some of the geometrical shape, 3D geometrical shape, you can choose from this library. If you want 3D object, you can choose from that library. If you want maybe environmental things, you can add it from here, and a lot of other things as well, which I'll gradually explain to each and every one of you. So let me just start fresh, and you can see this is completely blank arena right in front of you. There is nothing being designed as such. But now within just 2 minutes, I'm going to create a simple game right in front of you. It may look like something something like PUBG or Free Fire or Counter-Strike or something like that, but it will be developed and designed in just few minutes. So let me just start by creating a terrain which we will be requiring, where our player can actually move. So this is just one click and I can see a amazing environment right in front of me, mountains, trees, logs, and everything. But I can also see this river doesn't look, or maybe a water stream or whatever you call it, doesn't look real. And if I have to make a game which sounds real and which appears real in the world, I would have to use a tool, and just a simple click and it will bring water in my environment, and I can adjust the position of my water element and it will look something like this. Now you can see the entire environment in Creator is created in such a way that it's being surrounded by a water body, and it looks like maybe it's an island or something, right? So you can call it whatever you want. So this is just one click and I'll be able to do this kind of activity, but this is not it. So what if I want to add my player into it? What if I want, a character into it, human character into it? All I have to do is I'll just go into this 3D object option. I have multiple options given over here, starting from our own Toby. But even if you want any other character, let's say if I want maybe adventurer as a character, I can do that. And I can just zoom it by double clicking on the layer section. You can see, and I can transform this character and making it look like it's basically on the ground right now. Okay, so again, a simple click, some of the transformation, and I can see this particular character from every single angle that I have. Now, what if I want this character to move using my arrow keys of the keyboard? Because this is what we generally do in a game creation. Like, we want our characters to move basis on my command, right? So for doing that, I just need to define a ground level. So for defining a ground level is just, again, a simple adjustment. And then my environment is ready to go. All I have to do is now is to code my character. So for coding my character, I'll switch this particular environment to a coding environment. And for switching my coding environment, I have to go on the top right. It will give me an option of whether I wanted to choose block-based coding or maybe Python-based coding. So irrespective if you are comfortable with block-based or if you are proficient enough with the Python, you can choose any of the mode. Let me just go into block-based coding. I'll click on that environment. All I have to do is, solve the puzzle. There are a lot of these puzzle shapes building blocks that we already have. We just have to connect the right dot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define a flag point from where my program will start running. And then I just simply add and, maybe just few commands, adding it over here. I'm also adding ground to the collision world so that my player would be able to, collide with the ground and will not fall down basically. And then I'm applying a player settings on the adventurer model that I have used. Now let's see what will happen if I'll run this particular program. I'll switch to the full screen mode and I can see the whole environment which I have created right now. So you can see the entire environment. But what will happen once I'll execute this program? So I'll click on the flag button. It will reload the entire platform and it start running the script that I have written basically. Now you can see this, character, but how do I have to move it? So I just use my arrow key and it start moving like this way. Or maybe if you want to zoom, now you can easily connect with any kind of a game that you have played, maybe PUBG or any other game that you have created. So this is how they designed it. And you can create same kind of game, same kind of environment within the PictoBlox itself. And you can even make him drown if you want, right? So this is not it. If you want to create a lot of other things, like suppose if you want to add maybe a boat over here, or you want maybe some other elements to appear over here, like a fire or something, you just need to choose the right option. Or maybe if you want to make it look like a snowfall, right? So what you have to do is just click on the snow option and it will feel like that right now in environment, it's snowing right now. So you can see that snowfall in your screen, I believe. Right? And let's suppose if I have to maybe, add fire, just for an example, right? I just drag it and drop it somewhere and it will add the fire over here. And you just need to place it on the right angle. Maybe like here. So all this is being done using few simple clicks, maybe just few drag and drop, and right in front of you, there is a game environment which has been created. Okay. So I hope you like this particular one, but this is not it. We do have different offering in this. This is just a part of it. This is just a game creation part of it. But if you want to see more like 3D modeling kind of stuff, I'll probably create a new project, maybe giving it a name like 3D modeling. I'm sorry. Again, using a default one. Maybe I'll just delete Toby from here. Let's suppose if you are into 3D modeling, like suppose if you already use 3D modeling, you use 3D printing as a technology in the school or maybe in your classrooms, and you want your students to learn about it, you want your students to create 3D models, and then you can also ask them to 3D print those 3D models that they have designed. You just need, again, few clicks, few things to do, and your 3D model will be ready. So let's assume if I have to make my own maybe keychain, right? So what I have to do, I have to create a sketch by using this sketch option. Either I can design my own shape. So let's say if I don't want it maybe rectangular, I would probably want it in this shape, right? So this is a sketch which I have designed. Now I want this sketch to look like a 3D model. So what I need to do is basically just click on the right option, which is extrusion, and then I can increase or decrease the depth of this 3D model as per my wish. Now, you might have noticed the edges of these, this particular model is not smooth enough, like it's maybe a little sharp. What if I want my structure to look like little smooth? So that's where the bevel settings come into the picture, where you can define the size of the bevel, which is like, let's say for me is 5. Maybe I want to increase the thickness, and I have to create a segmentation around it, and you can see the changes right in front of you. So this is a 3D model that you have created, but this is not it. I want my name to be engraved somewhere on this keychain. What do I have to do for that particular part? So all I need, go to the text settings, choose any of the text that you would like to, show your name with, and replace this text, new text, from your desired text. Maybe I just wanted to highlight my name, Satyendra, and rotate it in a way that it will maybe completely 90-degree in one axis. But right now it looks like little flat to me. Like this is not looking like a 3D, name for any of one of you, right? If you see, this is more of like a 2D or just written on a piece of paper. It looks like that. But what if I have to extrude this particular thing as well? So all I need is just go into the scaling object and scale this object in one direction. So it will look like this has been extruded in a way. You can see that, right? Maybe I can just zoom it a little bit. So you can see this is getting extruded. Now, once I'm done with the extrusion part and I'm pretty much clear, like this is what I want my name to look like, all I have to do is align this particular name on top of my keychain. So maybe something like this. You can see this. But again, this is pretty small. Like this is not even covering the 10% of it, right? And I want my name to be highlighted a little more. So all I need is, again, the scaling part, and I'm scaling it all the 3 directions. And this is how my keychain would look like. Something like this, right? But wait, what if I have to add a hole so that I can actually attach a keyring with it? So for using that particular hole section, what I need to do is I'll go to the geometrical shape. I'll take one cylinder, put it over here, increase the size of the cylinder, maybe this much, and then position it in the right way where I want my hole to appear. So maybe I want my hole to be appearing somewhere like this. Now, what I have to do is basically subtracting this particular object from the entire shape. So how do I do it? I'll just go to the Boolean operation, select the first object, select another object, go to the subtract option, and then click on yes. Now this has created a hole which you can easily see. Or if you want to make a bigger one, you can definitely do that, because you have to just increase the scale of that particular the cylinder. Or if you want to make a maybe square or maybe rectangle, that is totally your choice. How do you want to make a hole into it? Okay, so this is just one example or the possibility that we can have with the help of our 3D modeling feature. But this is not it again. What if my student would like to 3D print this particular keychain? What they have to do it by then? So what you can do, you can just select everything on the stage, group it together, and then generate an STL file for the same. So by clicking on 3D printing file, you can see this is generating an STL file which you can actually save. Now this STL file can be 3D printed using any of the 3D printer available in the market. Isn't it cool? Like we have game creation, we have 3D modeling aspect of it. And by the way, if you want to animate this 3D model, that is also possible. Let me just give you a glimpse of it. Let's say if I don't have this nameplate in with me, I have maybe box, right? But I want my box to move from point A to point B, and also on the same side, like at the same time, it should change the color of that particular object. So this is my base position. I can create a next position. So I want my box to move here, but at the same time, it should change the color maybe to right. So what I have defined basically, or maybe I can also ask to get it move in one direction. So let's say if I want it to move in y-axis 90 degree. So this is my first state. This is my next state. And what if I have to animate this particular thing? So I'll go into the animation. I'll click on add. I'll go from transitional base animation, clicking from base state to state, and I can define like how much time it should take to make this transition happen. So let's say I want 3 seconds and I want it to move in a forward direction. Let's see what will happen after running this particular animation. So if I hit the play button, it will look something like this. Did you notice? It also changes the orientation of the object, but the color. So all these models can be animated, can be refurbished. What if I want my object to look like maybe something like stone, right? All I have to do is just go into the property of that particular object, change the material type, and choose from any number of, which is available, like the material which is available over here. So if I want this object look like a stone, I'll just drag this material and paste it on top of it. So it looks like a block, maybe a building block, right? Same way, you can create your own environment, you can create castle, you can create, path and everything, right? Now, moving ahead, I would like to also show you the AR feature that we have recently introduced. So in AR, what you can do basically, we have different kind of AR activities available over here. One is face tracking, where you can ask these platforms to track your face. You might have noticed Snapchat. You might have noticed a lot of face filter, or you might have used it already, right? The same kind of a thing you can actually do it, but in 3D. Okay, so what all you have to do is just click on the face track, and okay, right now I'm using my camera, so it won't work in that way, but you can use your webcam to track your face and then apply some of the object on top of your face as well. So this is a complete Snapchat experiences that you can actually have, or you can just have a fun games with the kids where you can just assign maybe some tasks to the students, ask them to create augmented based reality projects, maybe popping up some of the heart, or maybe dinosaur, or maybe they can easily connect with Pokemon Go. So all these things can be easily designed using the filter or the tracker that we have. So we have face tracker, we have marker based tracking, we have cube based tracking, and we have hand based tracking. All these will use your mobile camera or your desktop camera to track the positioning of that particular tracker. So these are 3 options that we have shown. But another thing, by any chance, any one of you in the comment box, if you have ever seen Netflix VR or YouTube VR or any of the video that you have seen, maybe Amazon VR as well, the Prime Video VR as well. So if you have seen that environment, what actually happens is just they have created a home kind of environment where you have a sofa, where you have a big screen right in front of you, but all that is possible using a simple function within the platform itself. So what you have to do is click on the multimedia option, go to the video settings, and then applying a video screen on your desired position. So this is one of the video which is running on my screen right now. So this is again a kind of an experience where once you are inside a VR environment, you can just feel like that there is a huge screen right in front of you. Let me just show you something else. So what if I want any specific video to run on this particular screen? What all I have to do is basically I just have to paste the YouTube URL, paste it over here, and it will get changed to that particular video. I can even draw maybe a sofa right in front of it, so that you will feel like that you are sitting on a sofa somewhere. So maybe a lounge look, right? And it looks something like this. So huge screen, you probably sitting maybe on the sofa, and you can enjoy your movie, enjoy your video, and anything on large screen right in front of you. So this is what happens with Netflix VR, YouTube VR, and any other platform. And you can experience, and you can actually create those kind of experiences right in the platform. Moving ahead. we do offer, lot of physics integration with it. So most of the time, it's all about, games. It's all about animation. But what if I want my environments to react basis on the real-time physics? Okay, so let me just give you a quick example. Like suppose if I have maybe a ball, maybe I just change the material of this ball to maybe looking like a stone. Right, so I'll just apply this. So let's say if I have this material right in front of me, I have this ball right in front of me, I can just make it move little up from the ground. And I want this ball to fall down when I activate the physics. So what I have to do is basically, I have to go into the property of the physics, enable the physics for this particular object, and then define some of the characteristic of this particular object, whether the type of this object is static or dynamic, how like what kind of body is this? Is this rigid or a soft? And what is the mass? So let's suppose if the mass is, let's say 50, I can mention 50 kgs in mass. And I can also define bounciness of this particular object. So maybe I just want to define 0.1, right? And then if I'll play physics from this particular panel, what will happen eventually? It will, fall down to the ground. But you would never, see any kind of bounciness, because the properties that has been assigned to this particular object doesn't allow this object to bounce. But what if I want this particular ball to bounce? All I have to do is again just selecting this object, maybe mentioning mass as like 1, and the bouncing property maybe is like 5. Go to physics and up, play the physics again. So once it fall down, it bounces back. So this is kind of, physics that we have integrated within the environment itself. Now, let's assume if you want, now what could be the use? Like what could be the use case in the classroom settings? How the teacher will use this kind of a functionality for the students to learn something? Let's assume if I'm a teacher and I want to teach my students about gravity, maybe on Earth or maybe on Moon. And what will happen if I'll throw a particular object on a Moon surface or maybe on the Earth surface? How will it react? How will it bounce? Right? Then I can do one thing. I can change the gravity from 9.8 meter per second, which is basically Earth gravity, to the Moon gravity, and you can see the changes. So if the gravity is less, let's say I want to make just -1%, and then play the physics. Let's see how will it react with the body of this. You can see this, right? It's falling down, but pretty low in the speed because of less gravity. So all these kind of physics engine that we have implemented, it basically give you a glimpse of real-time physics. People can actually define about gravity, force, and everything they have learned in the school textbooks, and apply those concepts within the platform to learn something meaningful out of it, right? So I think this is it from my side. I would personally like to thank you everyone for joining this session. Pass it on to, again to Vivek to take over this session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Satyendra, for this amazing demonstration. We all loved it. Everybody in the comment section is truly amazed by the capabilities of this PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio. And your passion and the vision for the PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio are just truly amazing. We all can see how this technology is set to transform the STEM education. And we really appreciate your time and insights. Can't wait. I'm also saying this on behalf of all the joinees that we can't wait to see the incredible impact this will have on learning. Thank you so much. So as we know, learning should never stop. At STEMpedia, we don't just empower students, we empower educators as well to master these latest technologies. In line with that commitment, we are thrilled to announce the next edition of International Educators Bootcamp with a special focus on 3D and XR Studio. So allow me to share more about this exciting opportunity. The International Educator Bootcamp on 3D and XR Studio in PictoBlox is a 6-day bootcamp running from 1st October to 7th. Offers an incredible opportunity for educators all around the globe to immerse themselves in the world of latest technologies. This bootcamp is of 12 hours of includes 12 hours of hands-on learning that splits across 6 dynamic sessions where you will be mastering 3D modeling, real-time physics, just like Mr. Satyendraji showed us during the live demonstration, game creations, animations, and block-based coding, all within the same platform, that is PictoBlox, 3D, and XR Studio. And we will be also having doubt clearing sessions to ensure that you make most out of your learning experience. Plus, there will be a celebratory closing ceremony to wrap it up. Now, you can visit the website. We will be sharing the link in the chat box, in the live chat box as well. You can visit the website that is there open in front of your screen as well. So you can visit the website. You can click on the register now button to register yourself. This is the registration page of this bootcamp. You can also click on download brochure to get to know more details about the same. So now if you might be wondering that why one should join this particular bootcamp, so you will be learning alongside global educators. You will be earning badges and certificates. Plus, you will be also getting to explore the learning management system that is going to bring these cutting edge technologies into your classroom. Additionally, there is a chance to join our ambassador program with prizes and recognitions for top performers. Just to mention, this bootcamp is only open to teachers and educators who are passionate about 3D, AR, VR, and animation. So I repeat, it is only open to teachers and educators worldwide. All right, so before we move ahead, I would like you to all scan the QR code, register yourself for this bootcamp. So simply register before 30th to secure your spot. You can just scan the QR code. You can visit the official site. The link is shared in the chat box. And for any queries, you can join the Telegram or WhatsApp groups and make sure that you have downloaded the latest version of PictoBlox. And as you already heard, this is an incredible opportunity for educators, teachers, and trainers to dive deep into the world of 3D and XR technology. And the best part is that it's completely free. So I encourage all the teachers and educators who all have joined us from all the corners of the world to enroll yourself for this amazing opportunity. So I'm seeing a lot of requests to play the montage, the XR launch video once again. So before we wrap up this ceremony, let's do that. So I hope you all are as excited as I am to test out and have hands-on with the latest and new addition to PictoBlox, the 3D and XR Studio. So as we conclude today's event, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone for joining us. A special shout out to all our panelists and Mr. Satyendra for sharing insights and live demonstration. Thank you so much, Mr. Dave, Mr. Ryan, and Mr. Pankaj for joining us and sharing your expertise.
Well, thank you for inviting. It was very good, very informative. Thank you.
Thank you. So the PictoBlox 3D and XR Studio is for anyone and everyone who is passionate about innovation and immersive learning. Whether you're a teacher, a student, or a tech enthusiast, this platform opens up the endless possibilities for interactive experiences. Once again, thank you so much for being part of this exciting journey into the future of learning. Until we meet again, bye-bye.